Hey, how's it going everyone? alecandstuff here, and welcome back to Quick Thoughts, a short segment in which I give you some rapid-fire impressions on the things that I find interesting. And today's episode is going to be all about the very highly anticipated Nintendo Direct Mini that just dropped this morning. Now, to say that this Direct was highly anticipated might be a bit of an understatement because, as with almost every Nintendo Direct, there's a lot of hype, lots of rumors on what it will show us, as well as when people think it's going to happen. However, with this Direct in particular, there were rumors floating around stating that it was indeed going to happen on the 11th, which is today, but what makes it very strange is that instead of commenting on it at all, Nintendo decided to just tweet out this photo of our poor friend Chibi Robo being lit on fire with absolutely no explanation, resulting in what I would consider to be one of the greatest troll tweets of all time. It's very, very weird. So, after the mass hysteria that tweet caused yesterday, Nintendo finally gave us what we've been waiting for and dropped a brand new Nintendo Direct very early this morning. And honestly, for a 15-minute long Direct, there's actually quite a bit of stuff to talk about. So we'll just kind of go in chronological order here. And to start things off for us is going to be, let me see, there we go, The World Ends With You. So this game is one of those games that I honestly never really had the chance to play when it originally came out. I remember very vividly when it was announced and when it actually originally came to the DS over a decade ago, which makes me feel really old, but all that aside, this is one of those games that I saw and never got around to actually playing. It looks really, really good. I love the visual style here, and I love the way that the dialogue looks in the game as well. And it's essentially a remaster of sorts of the DS original, so I am happy that it's coming to the Switch, and I'll be able to get that second chance to finally jump into this series. It looks really, really fun, and I'm super, super excited, and we have a release date for this one of, oops, skipped ahead there just a little bit. I believe it's just this year, if I remember correctly, so no concrete release date or anything. Yeah, available this year, so super, super excited for that one. And next on our list is going to be new Pokken Tournament DX DLC. So it's going to give us some new fighters here, one of which being Aegislash, which is a really, really cool choice. He was on my competitive team when Gen 6 was originally released. I love this Pokemon, he's really cool, and I can't wait to see him in action when the game actually lets you download him. You also get two new support Pokemon with Wave 1, might I add, of this Pokken Tournament DLC, being Mega Rayquaza as well as Mimikyu. So those look really cool as well. And that's just going to be Wave 1. There's actually also another wave in this DLC pack that's going to include Blastoise and two support Pokemon being Mew and Celebi. So Blastoise is an interesting choice, I would say. Not the most, exciting of characters to add to the roster in my opinion. Although I was wrong about Empoleon as well. I didn't really think he looked that interesting as far as his gameplay went, but he turned out to be pretty fun, so perhaps I'll be wrong about Blastoise as well. I'll be wrong about all of this, so. New avatar items are going to be going up as well. But yeah, two new fighters coming to Pokken Tournament, as well as some support Pokemon. Looks pretty cool. Wave 1 is available at the end of this month, and Wave 2 available at the end of March. So pretty soon we'll see those new characters coming to Pokken. So, Kirby Star Allies. This is the game that we originally saw at Nintendo's E3 press conference last year. It was, at the time, just called Kirby for Switch, but now we've since gotten an official title called Kirby Star Allies, and as someone who doesn't really have too much exposure to the Kirby series other than Kirby and the Crystal Shards and Kirby Air Ride, this game looks like a ton of fun. And I really do like the art style that they decided to go with here. It's very, oh geez, how would I describe this? This is very, I honestly don't know. I don't know how I would describe this art style, but something about the way the game's visuals look is very pleasing to my eye, and maybe it's just the way the lighting looks and just how cartoony it is and how true to Kirby's nature, it looks. But as I said, I haven't really had too much exposure to the Kirby series in past years, and I'm excited to get back into it. Might I add, Kirby Air Ride was an amazing game. So coming in mid-March to the Nintendo Switch, super, super cool to see. We also have some announcements for a few demos, being Kirby Battle Royale, as well as Dragon Quest Builders. You know, I don't really carry my 3DS around me with me anymore, so I don't know if I'm even going to be like chomping at the bit to go download that demo, but pretty cool for people that like the Kirby series. So up next, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, coming to the Nintendo Switch. Honestly, there's not too much to say here. It's basically going to be your run-of-the-mill remaster of a game. It's going to include all the DLC. It's going to have, I think, increased performance because it'll be running on the Switch. Don't quote me on that, though. I haven't done really any research yet. This is off the cuff, ladies and gentlemen. I have not done any research really on a lot of these titles. But it's also going to be giving us Breath of the Wild versions of Link and Zelda as well. So pretty cool, in my opinion. If you haven't played Hyrule Warriors yet, or haven't played any of the Dynasty Warriors crossovers, they're really, really fun if you like hack and slash kinds of games, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already. So up next, very interesting. Before we even let that footage roll, I'm just gonna go ahead and preface it with this. Mario Tennis is a game that I've loved for quite some time. However, the release before this, being Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, I had conflicting feelings about, because yes, I did love the gameplay in some aspects, but in other aspects it was sort of underwhelming in my opinion. Man, that Waluigi hair. But what was I gonna say? Right, so if you've been on the channel for a while, you might have seen my review for it about a year or two ago. I wasn't too kind to Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, but this new Mario Tennis game looks very promising. All of the arenas and stuff look a lot more inspired than they did in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. It even includes a story mode with boss battles. Super promising. I'm actually pretty excited for this new Mario Tennis game. Mario Tennis Aces, available this spring, so no release date yet, but rest assured, I am very, very excited. I want Mario Golf. Can we please have Mario Golf back again? I love that one. Out of all the Mario sports games, Mario Golf is probably one of my favorites. So, this game, Ys 8. Honestly, never heard of it, to be honest. Although, it does seem to take a lot of inspiration from classic JRPG titles in art style as well as gameplay. Yeah, I really don't know too much about this series. It looks pretty cool. If I'm going to be honest, though, it looks very similar to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I've heard is also a very, very good game. Makes me wonder how many people are going to give this a shot as opposed to just going to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So, I don't know what to think about this one. Being that it's the 8th title, I'm sure that there's some following somewhere that really loves these games. Me, personally, I've never heard of it, so I guess I can look into it at some point and then kind of make my decision then, but nonetheless, it's coming to the Switch this summer. Looks pretty good. Oh yes, Mario Odyssey. This is gonna be so great. Okay, so when I was initially watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, Luigi playable character, but then it turned out to be something totally different, and I was like, oh dang, Luigi not a playable character. But then it started playing more, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. So what this is it's a new mini game that incorporates leaderboards as well for online play as well. And it's called Balloon World, Luigi's Balloon World, and basically the premise is you take one of the balloons and you hide them somewhere in one of the kingdoms. And you can upload that to the internet, as far as I can tell, and other players can kind of play like a game of hide and seek depending on where you place the balloon. Basically, the premise is you place the balloon in a place where you think nobody will find it, and then you challenge others to seek it out in the kingdom that you place it in. And you have like a little marker next to Mario telling you how close you are to the balloon. Really, really cool. You also... Whoa! Excuse you! Yeah, a really cool minigame. Looks pretty competitive, as far as it... Here. Not competitive, but more competitive than the mini games that are already on the game or on included as well. I'm pretty excited about it. It looks pretty interesting, more interesting than I thought it was going to be, because I heard the name mini game and I was like, well, it's not going to be that interesting. But Luigi's Balloon World looks pretty fun, and you have different designs on all the balloons too. So here we go. Let's pause this. So I have some feelings about this particular frame in the Nintendo Direct. So there's going to be a couple of new outfits coming to Mario Odyssey. One of them being inspired what looks like Dark Souls here on the very right. In the middle, we have the Musician Hat outfit, which you can see matches the band members for the New Donk City players. And then on the very left here, we have what seems to be the greatest tease of all time. So, what they're talking about here is all of the stuff that's going to come in this free update for Mario Odyssey. But I think Nintendo knows that a lot of us want DLC Kingdoms. Myself being one of those people. And my dream reveal for Super Mario Odyssey, if they were ever to go the route of paid DLC and Kingdoms and all that, is an Isle Delfino. This is just a big slap in the face. What is this? Mario Sunshine inspired outfits, but no Kingdom DLC? Oh man, Nintendo's playing with me. I'm just gonna hit play before I start crying. And yeah, new filters for snapshot mode. Looks pretty interesting. Pretty cool. Available this February, around my birthday. Pretty excited about that. It's going to be a very fun month. This is going to be SNK Heroines. Another game which I have never seen before. However, if I had to give it a name, not knowing anything about it, I would call it Waifu Warriors. For reasons that are probably pretty obvious. I don't know. As a fan of fighting games, I generally don't like fighting in a 2D plane like this, other than, you know, if you were to go the route of Soul Calibur. I really love Soul Calibur, even though I know it's not truly 2D. I don't know. These kind of games like these, I don't know. I don't know how to explain my thoughts. I'm generally more of a 3D fighter than I am a 2D fighter, kind of like these we're seeing here. But it's got waifus in it, so I'll probably download it. Available this summer, SNK Heroines Tag Team Frenzy. Interesting. Okay, so up next we have, what is this? Yeah, okay, cool. Aka Neo Geo, is that how you pronounce it? ACA Neo Geo? Neo Geo titles. More of them coming to the eShop, as if we didn't already have a flood of those on the Switch eShop. Am I right? I feel like there's just a ton of Neo Geo titles already available on the eShop, and I don't know. I never played that console, so I don't really have any attachment to any of them. But the next part, Mario and Rabbids. More content coming to Mario and Rabbids in the form of Donkey Kong being a unit that you can actually use on all the maps and stuff. So hopefully this will give us more potentially co-op maps, more story maps, something, because I haven't personally beaten the story mode all the way through, but I'd imagine for someone who already has, you'd kind of be wondering to yourself where you're going to play DK, since you've already beaten the game and you don't want to go through the same maps over again. I don't know. As I said, I haven't really done any research, so maybe they're adding more maps? I don't know. But regardless, available this spring, Donkey Kong in Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Really, really cool stuff. Up next is Payday 2. I played a ton of this already, like years ago, on my Xbox 360, back when it first came out. It's a pretty fun game. I don't know if I would go back into it again on my Switch. I do like that the Switch is getting more... what's the word I'm looking for? This game is really dependent on its community, and it's got a pretty great community at that. I like that the Switch is getting a lot of those types of games. Available February 27th, so end of February, also around my birthday. But I like the third-party support. Man, I can't talk today. That the Switch has been getting so far. Payday 2 is a fun game if you haven't tried it already. please do. It's a very fun tactical shooter. And then next is another game, another set of games, might I add, that I don't recall ever being talked about prior. First of which is VIII, which looks very similar in... it looks very inspired by Ori and the Blind Forest, with all of these creature designs and environments and stuff like that, and I'm not sure what to make of it. It looks pretty fun though. Available mid-February as well, so pretty cool. Celeste is another one that I hadn't heard of prior, at least as far as I can remember. To be honest with you guys, I don't really value, or I shouldn't say I don't really value, I don't really feel inclined to play through 2D 8-bit platformers anymore, just considering how flooded the market is with them at the moment. It looks like it would be good for those that are fans of that kind of game, but for me personally, I don't feel inclined to go give it a try. But anyways, it's available end of this month, so pretty fun stuff. The next game on our list is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is essentially going to be another remaster of a Wii U game. And this time, it's going to be featuring our super cool, I think he's Donkey Kong's cousin or friend? I don't know how he's related to Donkey Kong, I can't remember. But, great, he's Funky Kong, yep. And he has a bunch of different abilities, like using his surfboard to hover in the air for a couple seconds, as well as being able to surf on the spikes on like stage hazards and stuff. I don't know how that isn't going to be overpowered, but he looks pretty cool. I like the prospect of being added to Switch, so you can have instant 2-player for this game pretty much anywhere you go. A lot of people are going to have mixed feelings about this. Available May 4th. So in this Direct, a lot of people are going to have mixed feelings about the ports and the remasters. I personally don't really care. I actually am pretty excited about them because, unlike past consoles that they've been on, the biggest benefit of the Switch is that you'll be able to play them wherever you go. And I think that that's a new enough concept to justify remastering games for the Switch. That's just my opinion. I know some people might disagree. But, anyways. Moving on. Man, my nose is really itchy. Sorry. I don't think you needed to know that, but... Anyways, our last announcement for the Direct is, of course, one that is also... was part of the rumor mill before this Direct actually came out. And it's going to be Dark Souls. And Dark Souls is yet another one of those games that I never really got around to playing. I think a large part of that is mainly because if you talk to anyone that plays Dark Souls, they're going to tell you, oh, it's really hard. Any game that you play is not going to be as hard as Dark Souls. And just hearing that alone makes me feel like, oh, I don't want to get frustrated playing it, because games like it, one of the more recent examples being Cuphead, for me personally, is a really difficult game. Dark Souls sounds like it's a really difficult game, and progress just becomes slow if I can't beat a game naturally. So I guess that was my biggest hurdle getting into the series before. However, with it being added to the Switch now, I think I'm going to be a lot more motivated to give it a shot, and I think I will. So, Dark Souls, the original, remastered for the Nintendo Switch. I don't think there was a release date. Oh, there was. Right. Once this loads, here we go. So, wait, what is that? January, March, or January, February, March, April, May. May 25th of 2018. Sorry, I'm really bad whenever they put the numbers there. Especially whenever... I can never remember if 5 is April or May. I don't know. That probably made me sound really dumb. But anyways, that has been the Nintendo Direct Mini for January 11th, 2018. To be honest, before this was announced and put on the internets, I wasn't expecting a whole lot as far as big reveals go, because I think that would be a little silly, being that E3 is just a couple of months away, which is weird to say, being January. But in the grand scheme of things, honestly, it's just a few months away, and to announce all of your big titles this early on in the year would just, I don't know, it would feel like it would be silly to do. So, really satisfied with today's Direct. I feel like there was something for everyone here. My biggest takeaways are going to be the Pokken Tournament DLC. I'm really excited to give Aegislash a shot. I really like him as a Pokemon, and I'm sure I'm going to love him as a fighter. Mega Rayquaza! My favorite Pokemon of all time, Rayquaza, coming in his Mega form to Pokken Tournament DX. I am so excited about that. And then there's Blastoise, I guess. Here's another one. Kirby Star Allies is another one of my big takeaways as well. Looks really fun. And as I said earlier, as someone who hasn't really played a ton of Kirby games in the past, I'm really excited for this one to give it a shot. Looks really fun. And, yeah. You already heard my thoughts earlier, so I don't want to reiterate. Another one being Mario Tennis. The new Mario Tennis looks great. Hold on. Where is it? Well, we're gonna scrub to it. I know you know what I'm scrubbing to. Give me a second.
Oh yeah. Suave. His name is Waluigi.
I cannot get over Waluigi's hair in this clip. That just looks silly. So, yeah. And then we also have Super Mario Odyssey content coming in February. Really, really cool. A new Break Out the Balloons, or, what is it? Luigi's Balloon World. A new minigame coming to Super Mario Odyssey. Looks really fun, in my opinion. I love hide-and-seek kind of concepts, and it looks really fun. And then there's these just, hold on, these absolutely downright insulting DLC costumes coming to the game as well. That being the Mario Sunshine inspired outfit. That's it. That's the only one that's insulting to me, is the Mario Sunshine outfits. Just bring DLC Kingdoms and add Isle Delfino. Dang it, Nintendo. Stop making me cry tears of hope and... Anyways. Moving on. Waifu Warriors. Nice. Yeah. Donkey Kong being added to Mario and Rabbids as well. Man, what is with my internet today? Right. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Donkey Kong's being added as a playable unit. I'm curious to see what his abilities are. I'm sure those have probably been revealed in a press release somewhere. I haven't done my research yet, so nonetheless, very excited about Donkey Kong in this game. And then up next, after that, we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze coming at the end of May, and Dark Souls. Dark Souls Remastered coming to the Nintendo Switch in May as well. So, alright, and that about wraps it up for today's Nintendo Direct Mini for January 11th, 2018. I was very excited with the stuff that we got to see today. I was very, very pleased. As I said, I feel like there is something for everyone here. But before I go, I gotta ask, what did you guys think of today's Nintendo Direct? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you see stuff that you liked? Was there stuff missing? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below, as I'd love to discuss with you guys. And of course, as always, I'm alecandstuff, and I will see you all again real soon. Bye!